Are you tired of seeing your blood sugar levels always high, even though you're taking your medications exactly as prescribed? Have you tried everything, and still your glucose remains out of control? Thousands of seniors are discovering a simple, homemade and very powerful drink that helps lower blood sugar in as little as 7 days. No miracle formulas, no expensive ingredients. If you're experiencing weakness, blurred vision, or that constant fatigue only those with diabetes truly understand, stay with me until the end, because you'll learn a step-by-step natural recipe that could transform your health. And the best part? It's already working for people over 60, and it might work for you too. If you're also battling high blood sugar, take a moment to subscribe to this channel and leave a like. That helps this video reach more people who, like you, are seeking better health and well-being. Anyone living with high blood sugar knows it's not just a number on a test. It affects your entire body, your sleep, your energy, and how you feel each day. You wake up and already feel that heaviness. It's like you slept but didn't really rest. Your legs feel heavy, your body is slow, and your mind doesn't seem to work right. Sometimes your vision is blurry. Sometimes there's tingling in your hands or feet. Other times there's just that strange feeling, like something's off, even without pain. And the worst part is when you look at your test results and see your glucose is still high, even though you're taking your medication correctly and trying to eat well. That's discouraging. It makes you feel like you're fighting something that won't change. Many older people go through this silently. They don't want to worry their children or bother anyone. They pretend everything is fine, but deep down they feel scared. Scared of complications, of collapsing in public, of losing their independence. And little by little, that fear takes away their desire to go out, to talk, to do the simple things that bring joy. But I want to remind you of something. You can still feel better. Your body hasn't given up on you. It's simply asking for help. A gentler, more natural, more respectful kind of help. Something that doesn't attack but brings balance from the inside out. That's why so many people are turning to simple solutions. And one of those solutions is this drink I'm about to show you. It doesn't promise miracles, but it has made a difference. It's helped many people feel lighter, with fewer symptoms, more stability throughout the day, and most importantly, a sense that they've regained control over their own health. And sometimes that's all we need. A beginning. Something that brings back a little energy. That gives you a sense of relief. That shows you it's still possible to care for yourself gently, even after 60, at 70, or at 80. If you feel like you've already tried everything, but you still believe you can improve, this recipe might be a good path for you. And now that you know you're not alone, that many others are going through the same thing, it becomes easier to take the next step. Now you might be wondering, why does my blood sugar rise even when I take care of myself? That's a very common question, and the answer has more to do with how your body functions than with fault. As we age, our bodies change. And one of the systems most affected over time is insulin sensitivity, the very hormone that helps regulate blood sugar levels. Insulin works like a key. It opens the door of your cells so sugar can enter and be used for energy. But when your body starts resisting insulin, which is very common after age 50 or 60, that door stops opening properly. The sugar that's supposed to be inside your cells giving you energy ends up stuck in your bloodstream. That's where the problems begin. High blood sugar, fatigue, blurry vision, tingling, excessive thirst, all of this can come from this silent imbalance. And it's not just age. Other factors add up. Lack of exercise, poor diet, sleepless nights, constant stress, all of these impact how your body and insulin function. Sometimes you think you're doing everything right, and you really are trying, but your body is already slower, more sensitive, and even a small excess causes a spike. The good news is that your body responds very well to small adjustments. High blood sugar is not a life sentence. Even if you've lived with it for years, you can still ease it, improve, and take back control. The secret is offering your body simple, consistent, and natural support that helps balance everything gently. And that's where the drink you're about to learn comes in. It's made with accessible, natural ingredients that specifically help with improving your body's sensitivity, easing symptoms, and supporting gentle glucose reduction. Maybe now you're asking yourself, can a simple drink really make a difference? And that doubt is completely normal. We hear so many things, it's hard to believe something natural made from everyday ingredients could really help. But that's exactly what happened with Mrs. Celia, 72 years old. She lives alone, always paid attention to her diet, takes her medications properly, and still felt stuck. She'd wake up tired, without energy, and her fasting glucose was always around 190. In a conversation with friends, she heard about the recipe. She decided to give it a try without too many expectations. She prepared it calmly, drank it in the morning, and stuck with it for 7 days. By the 3rd day, she woke up with more energy. By the 5th, she noticed her vision was less. On the 7th day, she checked her blood sugar, 142. What stood out the most was the change in her expression. "I felt like my body started cooperating with me again," she said. And she wasn't the only one. Mr. Antonio, 68 years old, also shared his experience. He said he was constantly thirsty. His legs ached at night and his post-lunch sleep felt like a blackout. He decided to take the drink twice a day, in the morning and before dinner, and the results came quickly. He started sleeping better, felt less fluctuation throughout the day, and got back into the habit of walking without fear. Stories like these are becoming more common, from people who had already tried everything and were tired, and when they found this natural practice, something started to shift. It didn't happen overnight, but it was enough to reignite a hope that had faded. And that's the most beautiful part, seeing how a simple gesture, repeated consistently, can transform the way we feel in our own bodies. This drink doesn't promise miracles, but it can indeed be the start of a shift, gentle, quiet, but real. Now that you've heard the stories of people who got results with this drink, it's time to understand why it works. The truth is, it's made with simple ingredients that many people already have at home, and that's exactly what makes it so powerful, because they are natural elements that, when combined, work intelligently within the body. Let's start with the best known of them, ground cinnamon. Cinnamon is much more than just a spice. Studies show it has properties that help regulate blood sugar. But how does it do that? Cinnamon improves insulin sensitivity, the hormone that transports glucose into the cells. Think of it this way. Insulin is like a key. Over time, that key gets worn out, and the door, the cells, doesn't open as easily. Cinnamon helps lubricate the lock, making the process smoother. And the result? Less leftover sugar in the blood, less fluctuation, more energy. Another essential ingredient is apple cider vinegar. It helps slow down the digestion of carbohydrates. When you eat bread, sweet fruit, or anything that turns into sugar, your body usually releases it all into the blood quickly. This causes glucose spikes, but vinegar acts like a soft brake. It makes the sugar release more gradual, giving your body more time to process it. In addition, vinegar can also help reduce insulin resistance and improve metabolism. The third component of this drink is something that seems simple but makes a big difference: warm water. Drinking warm water first thing in the morning helps wake up the digestive system. It supports the stomach, liver, and intestines in starting the day more gently, which directly impacts how the body processes glucose. It's like telling your body, "Take it easy, I'm taking care of you." When these three ingredients, cinnamon, apple cider vinegar, and warm water, come together, they create a balanced mixture. Each one has a role, and together they work in harmony with the body. It's not something that shocks the system or acts aggressively. On the contrary, it's a gentle drink that works gradually and, when taken consistently, can deliver real results. The best part is that you don't need to spend almost anything. You don't need to rely on expensive or hard-to-find formulas. The secret lies in wisely using what nature offers and giving your body a chance to respond. Now that you understand why this combination of ingredients can help balance blood sugar, let's move on to the most important part: how to prepare the drink correctly. The first thing I want to tell you is that you don't need to be a cook or spend much money. It's all very simple. Just follow these steps with care and attention. Ingredients: 1 cup of warm water, about 200 ml, 1 teaspoon of natural apple cider vinegar, 1 pinch of ground cinnamon, approximately 1/4 teaspoon. These three ingredients form a powerful yet gentle combination. Each one has its purpose, and together they complement each other. The warm water helps the body wake up gently. The vinegar acts intelligently to help manage glucose, and the cinnamon improves how the body uses sugar. Preparation: heat the water until it's warm. It should not boil. Think of a comfortable temperature, like tea you can drink without blowing on it. Pour the water into a cup or mug. Add 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Stir with a spoon. Add a pinch of ground cinnamon. Stir again until everything is well combined. Drink it slowly, preferably on an empty stomach, right after waking up. Some people also like to take a second dose before dinner, especially if their blood sugar tends to be higher in the evening. This helps the body process the last meal of the day more efficiently. You don't have to do this forever. Start with 7 consecutive days. That's the time many people report beginning to notice the first signs of change: more energy, more balanced glucose, less thirst, less fatigue. But here's the thing: consistency is more important than speed. It doesn't help to take it one day and skip the next. This drink acts as a daily support, a gesture of care for your body, and your body will understand that gesture. It will respond. If you want to track your results, a great tip is to keep a small notebook and jot down how you feel each morning. How's your energy level? Are you feeling lighter or still bloated? How is your fasting blood sugar if you measure it? These small notes help you notice things that often go unnoticed in the rush of daily life. Now that you know how to prepare and take the drink, you might be asking, what should I expect in the first 7 days? That's an important question. And the answer is, observe more than you expect. That's because everyone's body reacts differently. Some notice changes in the first few days, others only after a week. The key is to stay aware, calm and patient, looking for small signs that your body is starting to respond. In the first 2 or 3 days, many people notice a slight improvement in their energy. You know that fatigue you feel right when you wake up? That heavy sensation in the body, like you slept but still feel tired. Some people report that it starts to fade. Your body seems to wake up more willingly, and you feel like you're starting the day with a bit more lightness. Between the 4th and 6th day, other changes may appear. Constant thirst, a classic symptom of unregulated glucose, tends to decrease. You might also notice better digestion, less bloating, and even more mental clarity. People who often feel mentally foggy or have blurry vision say those symptoms become milder. And of course, if you monitor your glucose at home, you might notice a slight improvement in the numbers. Even a reduction of 10 or 20 points is already a good sign. But more than that, the most valuable thing is how you feel. Because true health goes beyond the test results. It shows up in your energy, your drive, your desire to live each day. That's why my suggestion is, observe yourself with care. Grab a notebook or even a sheet of paper and write down every day. How did you wake up? How's your energy? How was your digestion? Did you feel less thirsty? Sleep better? These simple notes will help you notice changes you might otherwise miss in the hustle of everyday life. And when you write, you listen to yourself. You take care of yourself. Another important thing, avoid comparing your results with others. Everybody has its own timing, and what matters is your progress, even if it's small. This drink isn't meant to solve everything at once, but it can definitely be the start of a turning point, and everything starts with one step, then another, and another, with kindness, patience, and presence. When we talk about high glucose, the first thing that comes to mind is numbers. We think about tests, diets, restrictions, all the things we can or can't eat. But there's something almost no one talks about, and it might be the most forgotten and most important part: how you feel through all of this, how you treat yourself. Many seniors have been living with diabetes for years. They've seen doctors, tried different medications, adjusted their diets, gone back and forth, and along the way, they've collected not just advice, but guilt. Guilt for eating something they shouldn't have. Guilt for not taking that walk one day. Guilt for losing control of your blood sugar again. Guilt for not improving the way you hoped. Guilt for letting your health get to this point. That's where the silent danger lies. Because when you treat yourself harshly, with constant pressure and judgment, your body feels it, your heart feels it, and managing your blood sugar can become even harder because stress, sadness, fear, and frustration also affect how your body functions. Maybe no one has ever said this to you clearly, so I'll say it now, looking you in the eye, even if it's through a screen. You are not to blame. You did what you could with what you knew, with the resources you had, with the strength you could gather. And you're still here, trying, wanting to get better. That alone is already a victory. Managing blood sugar isn't about getting it right 100% of the time. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about understanding that every little step matters. That one tough day doesn't erase a whole week of effort. That you can slip up today and start again tomorrow. without punishing yourself for it. The most important thing is not to stop. It's about moving forward with respect for your pace, your body, and above all, your story. Don't buy into the idea that it's too late. Don't believe the voice that says, at your age, it's just how it is and there's nothing else to do, because the body can always respond when you offer it care, even if it takes time, even if it's slow. And that care doesn't have to be complicated. It can start with a glass of warm water, with the cinnamon sitting in your cabinet, with the apple cider vinegar that's been sitting on your shelf, with the simple act of drinking something every day that's been helping so many others. But more than that, it needs to start inside you, in the way you talk to yourself, in the way you look at your journey so far. So if you're going to make one commitment today, let it be this. Treat yourself with more kindness. If you mess up, start over. If you're tired, take a breath. If you feel like giving up, be gentle with yourself. The drink is a tool, but the most powerful remedy is constant self-love, even in the smallest actions. That's what supports any real transformation. And now that you've made it this far, I invite you to one final moment of reflection, a moment where everything we've walked through so far ties together and something within begins to shift. Let's go together into the next chapter, a deep pause, a revealing truth, and maybe the start of a new way of living with more dignity, balance, and lightness. Maybe you've spent the last few years thinking that living with high glucose was an endless battle. Maybe you believed your body was failing, when in reality it was simply asking for help. And now, having made it this far, maybe you're realizing something no one's ever clearly told you. You're not broken, you're alive. And that alone is reason enough to begin again. It doesn't matter how long you've been struggling with your blood sugar. Today, you've taken a new step, a step toward care, awareness, and reconnection. You don't have to rush anymore. You don't have to do it all at once. Transformation happens in simplicity, in consistency, in the gentle look you give yourself each morning. You are more than your numbers. You are more than your mistakes. You are someone who still chooses to care. And that says everything. Now let that lightness in. And if it makes sense to you, share this video with someone else who might need a fresh start too. If this video touched something inside you, don't ignore that feeling. It's your compass, it's your body, your intuition, telling you there's still time, and that it's worth trying again with more kindness. If you're not subscribed to this channel yet, go ahead and do that now. Also, leave a like so this content can reach others who need this kind of invisible yet very real care. And if you want to anchor everything we did today, write this in the comments. I choose to care for myself with more kindness. That phrase isn't just a message. It's a quiet promise to yourself. And who knows, maybe when someone on the other side of the screen reads this comment, they'll feel embraced and inspired to start again.